The Oscar goes to James Cameron for Titanic.
There's no way that I can express to you what I'm feeling right now. My heart is full to bursting, except to say, I'm the king of the world!
James Cameron is the king of the world. Or at least, he once claimed to be on live television. He's one of the most influential film directors of the past 40 years, but in recent decades he seems to have spent more time exploring the ocean than making movies. Some people love him, some people hate him, but what's undeniable is that everybody watches his movies. On December 16th, 2022, James Cameron will return to cinema with the long-awaited Avatar: The Way of Water. It's the perfect time to get reacquainted with the legendary filmmaker and assess the significance and achievements of this titan of the big screen. Born in Kapuskasing in Northern Ontario, Canada in 1954, and attending high school in Niagara Falls, Cameron moved to California at the age of 17 and became obsessed with physics and movies. After seeing Star Wars in 1977, he entered the film industry and cut his teeth as a special effects artist for B-movie icon Roger Corman. He made some short films with friends and finally got a chance to direct a feature with Piranha 2: The Spawning in 1982. The film was the low-budget sequel to Corman's hit 1978 ripoff of Steven Spielberg's Jaws. Cameron was fired from the production and didn't oversee the film's editing.
I can't do that. I'm not even supposed to be here.
But the experience inspired him to come back with a vengeance in 1984 with The Terminator.
I'll be back.
The Terminator forever changed science fiction cinema. It showed how a low budget and lack of experience couldn't stand in the way of a great story. It also kicked off Cameron's run of ambitious sci-fi films through the 80s and 90s. In 1986, he released Aliens, a sequel to Ridley Scott's Alien, which is one of the few cinematic sequels to stand toe-to-toe with its predecessor.
Get away from her, you bitch!
In 1989, he pioneered the art of CGI with The Abyss, which also furthered his obsession with deep-sea exploration. In 1991, he made the biggest action movie ever made, at least at that time. Terminator 2: Judgment Day was a cultural behemoth, and another example of Cameron breaking his own records in terms of production budget and box office receipts. The film cemented Cameron as the king of the box office. It also allowed him to continue making mega films for four-quadrant movie audiences. His immediate follow-up, True Lies, also starred Arnold Schwarzenegger, as well as Jamie Lee Curtis, in a satirical riff on spy films and the romantic comedy. Despite being set in the ostensible real world, True Lies is as cartoonish as Cameron's films come.
You're fired.
And mostly for the better. Following True Lies, Cameron pursued a passion project, a romantic epic set during the legendary sinking of the Titanic. The film starred Leonardo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet, two of Hollywood's hottest young stars. It went way over schedule and over budget, and was the frequent talk of movie rumors and entertainment magazines, which warned it would be an epic failure. Oh, how wrong they were. Titanic was a juggernaut at the box office, and became the biggest movie of all time. It stayed on top of the box office for 15 consecutive weeks, and was in theaters for the better part of a year. It won 11 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Director for Cameron, which remains an Oscar record, one it shares with Ben-Hur and The Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. After Titanic, Cameron moved away from blockbuster filmmaking. He co-created the television series Dark Angel, developed filmmaking technology, especially 3D cameras and motion capture, and explored the ocean floor. He made a series of documentaries about his deep-sea adventures, Expedition Bismarck about the famous German battleship, Ghosts of the Abyss, which returned to the wreck of the Titanic, and Aliens of the Deep, about the otherworldly nature of ocean life. Once a decade had passed since the release of Titanic, people started to wonder whether Cameron was done making narrative movies. But in 2009, he returned with a new science fiction epic, a film that was again predicted to be a catastrophic failure. And again, Cameron blew away all expectations. Avatar, a 3D sci-fi epic about human conflict with alien natives on a mysterious alien moon, became the biggest movie of all time, and another cultural event. Cameron promised to expand on the world of Avatar, and make more films about the Na'vi. But as the years passed, we heard nothing but scheduling delays and rumors of proposed storylines. The Avatar sequel seemed unlikely to ever happen, but as usual, people's fears about Cameron were unfounded. The sequel's almost here. If the past is the best indicator of the future, then James Cameron is going to blow away our expectations, just as he did with Terminator 2, and Titanic, and the first Avatar. There's a good rule of thumb that critics and audiences should have learned over the years. Never underestimate James Cameron. To mark the release of Avatar: The Way of Water, we're reviewing all of James Cameron's feature films at threebrothersfilm.com, including Piranha 2 and his deep-sea diving documentaries. We'll also offer roundtable discussions on the various periods in his career. So join us as we explore the films of James Cameron and learn more about the cinematic king of the world.